to the first ever COF Podcast, also known as Couple of Fools, but in light of the coronavirus pandemic, we thought we'd put a pun in there.
We did.
Directly from the confines of our house, where we, like the rest of humanity, have been sitting idle, bored, and highly unproductive for the past month. So, what do? The only rational thing we thought to do was, after my failed YouTube channel, create a podcast. And basically, I'm super tired of listening to podcasts which are either like super funny but like not much substance, or informative but you kind of feel like you're back in 4th grade.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Trying to do a bit of an educational and funny podcast.
That's us. At least hopefully funny, if not educational.
We find it funny. So
we will.
That's the aim.
Yeah.
So first things up, we're going to have a game. And so Nick doesn't really know what the game is. I'm Alanna, by the way. Did I say that?
I'm Nick, if you haven't guessed.
That one's Nick.
That's me.
Basically, I'm going to tell him a really complex word, which, according to the website I looked on, has a really simple English, or simple definition. But I'm going to tell him a complex word, and he has to make up the definition.
To guess the definition.
Before I tell him the actual definition.
Mm-hmm. Do I have a timer for this?
If you're slow, I will create a timer.
Okay, I like that. I am slow.
It's going to be sporadic.
Okay, I'm not looking.
It'll be like, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Funambulism.
That sounds like a party ambulance.
Okay.
But I don't think that's what it means. Funambulism. It sounds medical. Ambulism.
Okay.
Sounds like aneurysm.
Pretend you're like channel the Oxford Dictionary.
The Oxford Dictionary. You know I'm good at that.
Oh yeah.
So the word fun means fun. Usually.
Oh, yeah.
Usually in most.
Sorry, I'm a little bit slow. What does fun mean?
Funambulism means it's a medical condition where someone smiles but they're really in pain.
Oh wow, that's interesting. So, the definition, ironically, I haven't read these definitions, is a demonstration of cleverness.
Yeah.
So, an example sentence here is, although generally very sharp, a lack of sleep and a broken coffee maker made Chet question whether he would be able to perform his usual acts of logistical funambulism at the office that day. That really felt like they had a sentence and they were like, thesaurus 2 of those words.
Yeah, it did.
But, you know, your first word of the day.
First word of the day, and I got it wrong.
Funambulism, a demonstration of cleverness. Another way we can use it in a sentence is, Nick did not use funambulism.
Yeah, Nick barely ever does use funambulism. Is it cheating if I've seen this word before?
No. Do you know what it means?
No, but I've seen it before.
Okay. Ectomorphic.
This is bad because I definitely have seen it before. You know what? I think it has something to do with ectoplasms. And the way that they morph.
Interesting. What's an ectoplasm?
I don't...
He's a psychology major.
Nothing to do with psychology.
Okay.
Ectomorphic. Well, actually, no. Ecto means external. Right? Ecto. So endo, ecto. Right? So ectomorphic means something changing on the outside. That's my guess.
I reckon that sounds pretty logical.
Yeah.
Definition skinny.
I should have known.
In a feeble attempt to combat his ectomorphic build, Chet visited a buffet. Chet's really popular in this.
Chet hasn't had coffee. He's not very clever. And now he's skinny and hungry.
Yeah. Chet visited a buffet only to find that the restaurant was now just a pit filled with angry crab-like monsters.
How many of these are there?
Interesting. 12.
Excellent.
Yeah, plus a bonus one.
Oh. Oh. That's something you want to stay tuned for, I'm sure.
So, next time you say you feel like you're having a good day, be like, damn, I look really ectomorphic today. And you'll impress your brain and your body.
You'll be demonstrating funambulism.
Oh, wow.
Through your ectomorphic frame.
I like that.
Excellent.
Yeah. Oh, should we add a bonus to this round? Is that you have to use all of these words. One of us has to use all
In
of
a
these
sentence?
words. Yeah, as throughout the
How
episode.
about by the next episode, we'll have come up with a sentence with all of them in it.
I like that.
Thank
yeah.
Okay, cool.
We don't want to hear the big definition.
No, we
Oh,
don't.
that was a bit far with my scrolling there. Philipendulous.
Philipendulous, I would assume.
Probably. Philipendulous.
So, you have a guy called Philip. That's where this all started. A guy called Philip.
So who was Philip?
I'm getting to that.
Okay.
His name is Philip, and he was quite an incredulous kind of guy. He didn't believe anything. Like, whoa, you know? And so the word Philipendulous, you really tried to not disturb anything by doing that. It didn't work very well.
I just reached for the water bottle right across the camera.
You did.
Check out our YouTube channel for a video of this.
Do that. Do that very much. Philipendulous. That was just actually his full name. Philipendulous. But then they turned it into a word that was named after him.
Yeah.
And it means to be like Philip.
I understand that.
Let's see if I'm right. Am I right? Tell me I'm right.
Hanging precariously, usually by a single thread.
I wasn't right.
No, not quite.
Which is probably a shock to everyone listening.
Yeah, maybe Philip, also known as Philipendulous, died by falling off a cliff, and he was hanging on.
Well, but then he wouldn't be hanging, would he? Because he fell.
Mufasa in The Lion King was Philipendulous, but he didn't. He hung precariously and then fell.
Then fell and died.
It's spoilers.
Yeah. Whoops.
Yeah. I'm sorry if you haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, don't watch the live action one. It's terrible.
Very bad.
We saw that together. We hated it. They didn't even do what's that song?
Be prepared.
Yeah, Be Prepared. They didn't even have the green light.
I know.
And that's the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Don't see it. Not worth it. Calling you out, Disney. Calling you out.
Yeah. Chet's back again.
Oh, is he?
In the example sentence.
Wow. I feel like we should come up with our own example sentences.
Okay.
Because Chet
Mufasa.
Are you just going to substitute Mufasa?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Mufasa's philipendulous form tempted the crab things as he clung to the pit's edge with a single arm.
That almost works.
I reckon the crab...
Except the crab things are the wildebeest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Right?
I've
That's
seen
what
the movie.
Yeah. Twice.
Yeah. More than that, I think.
Yeah, probably. Cool. That was fun.
You
haven't looked at these, have you?
No, I haven't.
Would you like me to ask you some?
Yeah.
Excellent.
That sounds fun.
I got lucky with my one. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4,
5, 6,
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. 29 letter word.
That's more letters than there are in the alphabet.
It's more letters than you can do in Scrabble.
Scrabble, that's true. 7's the max there.
So is ectomorphic.
Yeah. Okay. So this is going to be interesting.
I'd like to hear you read the...
Floccinopilification. I'll repeat that in case you didn't get it.
Thank you.
Floccinocinial. There's like nihilism in the middle there.
That's true.
Which is kind of what you get to when you get halfway through reading this word. Floccinopilification.
I would have looked at that and started bit by bit and been like, what's a chini? But now you've said nihilism.
Yeah.
So.
Can you see? Okay.
Okay. What people don't know is that a really, really old tradition was to be, it was called the floccinus.
Yeah, of course it was.
Basically, it was the act of, like, when you're feeling really sick, you lie in a big bath of water and kind of flap around. So you're, like sort of, yeah, you're flopping, but also you're flaccid. So it's floccinus. So it's adding those two together.
So you're flaccid in a bathtub.
And flopping. Flopping
well,
flaccidly.
When you're flaccid, you do the flop, right?
Sorry. So this floccinilification.
How hard? It's not that hard.
Yeah, it's not.
If you're watching this on YouTube, the word's going to be on the screen right now.
Right
You
here.
can have your own.
I've
right
never
over my
edited
face.
a YouTube video before.
No, man,
so
that's gonna be
really
interesting.
fun.
It's gonna be in one of these spots
Yeah.
around here.
On the screen.
On the screen.
Yeah. Oh, we probably didn't even gesture to the screen.
No, probably not.
No.
Let's have a look.
On
Right,
the
on the screen. The screen. Action.
Oh god, this is confusing. Screen.
Your.
I keep moving the wrong arm.
There we go.
Here we go. Screen. No, man.
Alright, back to the word.
Okay, so, flockenilification.
Yep.
I'm gonna say that really confidently, like I know what I'm talking
Which
about.
you do.
Flockenilification.
Yep.
Is.
I think you said about 24 of the 29 letters there.
24 is
24
probably
out of, that's a Meatloaf song, isn't it? 24 out of 29 ain't bad.
I don't know.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So, basically, back in the day, there was the act of lying flaccid in a lake while flopping. And it was meant to, like, expel all the toxins from your body, kind of like the tarantella. And it was in this process so you're lying there and you just see the sun and it's beating down into your eyes. And it starts to sort of change the way you think. And so you realize that, like, nothing really matters.
Mm-hmm.
So you become nihilistic.
Okay.
But then it was the pilification. This process is called flockenili.
Oh.
But doctors would prescribe it. So they'd be like, oh, what you really need is, like, instead of a vacation, they'd be like a flockenilification.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a vacation.
Yeah, basically, except you're prescribed to
Okay.
lie in the water for 2 hours
In a
a
bathtub,
day.
flaccid, flopping.
I don't know where you're getting the bathtub from. Big bath of water and kind of flat.
You say
Clearly, you said
bathtub?
a lake.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't paying
I
attention.
probably said bathtub.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a vacation in a lake. Where you
Yeah.
just- for weeks.
And then until you feel
Till you feel
nihilistic.
nihilistic. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
The actual definition is an abstract sense of uselessness. And
You know
here's,
what?
It's not.
I would feel
Then, well,
useless if I was flopping in a lake.
Me too. That's
Or
true. But
if
would
I
it be in
was-
a? It would be in. It wouldn't be in a very abstract sense. It would be a very concrete sense of uselessness if you're flopping in a lake for weeks. You wouldn't be thinking, "Why am I?" No, you just.
Flop.
Flop.
Oh my god.
It has the actual
pronunciation.
pronunciation, which I'm now gonna demonstrate.
Mhm.
Flock, sa, na. Wait, fuck, I lost it. Flock, sa, na, sa, ne, hil, apilification. Well, we got the fication bit, right?
That was definitely the hardest
hard
bit,
bit, yeah. Flock, sa, na, sa, ne, hil, apilification. Example sentence. Guess who's back?
Wow, Mufasa.
Okay, again. Chet's back. Flocksenasanahilapification overtook Chet, or Mufasa, as he realized he had no way to escape the oversized crustaceans, or wildebeest.
I've
I don't
got a
know.
feeling. Have you seen that text post? And it's like, imagine if you were trapped by a sentient animal. Bear with me. And the only way you
I've
can,
seen that, yeah.
the only way you can transfer in is through a coded message.
Bear
Bear
with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I feel like someone's trapped by large crustaceans.
And then my name might be Chet.
Possibly.
Possibly
Yeah,
Chet.
and they're like,
Chet, if
whoa.
you're out there, we
Yeah.
feel you. We don't know what we can do.
Allocation.com. Yeah, is like their public domain. They're like, you know how to get this to lots of people?
Yeah.
Allocation.com.
Yeah. Okay, next one. This is a very good word.
Hercus.
Also, a nice change of pace. Hercus.
Hercus.
Hercus. It's so much shorter. It's so nice to say.
It's H-I-R.
I'm never gonna not want to pronounce a word after I've had to pronounce flockenilification.
Yeah.
I'm only ever gonna look favourably on words below 29 letters from now
Yeah.
until the end of my life.
Do you remember, this is like a really specific memory, but in year 2, the like...
I wasn't in year 2 with you.
When I was in year 2, for my audience's sake, he doesn't have to listen. So, in year 2, it was like, you were smart if you could spell accommodation. Everybody was like, ACCOMMODATION.
Not a single person at my school did that.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, that was like,
That
the
was
cool
cool,
thing to
Now
do.
it's this.
Yeah.
Flockenilification.
Mm.
That just came up on the screen again, by the way, if you're not watching the video.
Yeah.
In big letters, big rainbow letters.
Right where he gestured.
Right.
Because...
right. Because we love setting challenges for ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, Hercus. What does it mean?
Hercus. So,
Hercus.
you know the, like, kind of gagging sound you make when you're going to throw up? And you're like,
Would you like me to demonstrate?
Yes, please.
Like that.
Yeah, I just demonstrated.
I know.
Yeah. So, when you go to a circus and you're on, like... and you're on the rotor. I don't know if you guys know the rotor, but...
At Luna Park. Yeah,
the Luna Park, our local, local
we're from Sydney.
entertainment park.
Yeah, it's a theme park.
Yeah, okay, so I don't know if you're American.
There's a large face.
Yeah.
And it does that.
Yeah, it's scary. Here's a picture.
Right on the screen.
Yeah, so you go to a circus and you're on the rotor. Basically, the rotor, it uses centrifugal force to stick you to the walls, and it spins really fast, and you can move, and you're stuck. But they don't want you to go upside down in case you slide.
I feel like the sign language person on TV broadcast.
Mm.
I can do that and you talk.
I'm so glad we're using so many gestures for a podcast.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's also a video.
Tits.
Maybe.
Yes.
With words on screen. So
you're at the circus and you just get off the rotor, but it's not just regularly throwing up. You're still spinning while you're standing there and going at regular intervals around the spin.
While you're spinning.
Yeah.
At regular intervals only?
Yeah.
What's an irregular one called?
A hierarchies. Wait, that's spelled the same. It's called a well, the sound you make when it's less regular is kind of like gurgh. So it's a gurkus.
Like a gherkin.
It sounds like a
gherkin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pickles are excellent. Okay. No, that's not what it is, as surprising as that may be. It is the rank smell of armpits.
Oh, that's you. Oops.
Excuse me.
Oops, it's not.
Sweating profusely from fear, anxiety, and physical strain, Chet's circus became... Chet's in a real bad spot.
Yeah.
This might be a cry for help, right?
I think so. Oh, interesting stuff. So, although this word is now an accepted medical term, its origins were actually somewhat offensive. The prefix herc is a Latin root. It actually means herkine and herkos mean goat and goat-like, respectively. So basically, if you had bad BO, you were like an unwashed goat.
Interesting.
Wow. So, educational and fun.
And funny.
For us.
And for us.
Whoops, that was too
That's
far.
a long word.
Haha, you can spell this one as well.
Spell it? Honor. Honorificability bus.
My favourite letter. Bus. Okay.
Honorificabilitudinitibus. And I might know what this means.
Really?
Close your eyes.
Okay.
I didn't know what it meant.
Excellent stuff.
Yeah, so let me look at the pronunciation so I get this right. Honorificabilitudinitibus.
Tutti-tati, I like that.
So what does
So
it
it's like when you're like feeling a little bit tarty. Feeling like you kind of want to just be yourself and embrace your body. So, but you still have a bit of honor, right? So you go out into the world and you're like wearing like it's summer, so you're not wearing too much, but you're like it's like classy hot.
Okay.
And
that's me.
Basically, you're standing there and wow, my creativity's gone out the window.
Oh no.
Yeah, so you're standing there with your honor, but a little bit tarty. And I
love how the way that we're doing this entirely and without fail is just to listen to words within the words and think of what they mean and then just put them together.
Isn't that what etymology is?
Absolutely.
Yeah. See,
etymology comes from moths and eating. Etymology.
That's terrible.
That was the worst joke I've ever made.
Yeah, it wasn't even like...
Worst joke of the podcast. I enjoy putting things on screen.
Yeah. You're going to be editing this one. Mm-hmm.
No. Anyone want to be our editor?
Yeah. For free.
For free. We have no money.
No, zero.
Zero money.
Okay, so... if you had honor but you also have the ability.
What about Tati?
I said Tati.
You just okay.
So you have the ability, and then so there's the abilitude right there, and then it's Tartibus. So you can have Tartiness and ability.
Tartibus.
So it's basically the ability to feel confident in yourself, be sexy, but also like have some honor.
Okay. Yeah. And the actual able to receive honor or rewards. If you took out the sexy bit, you're right.
Yeah. I'm pretty proud of that.
This just
Janet, a passerby, thought she might be honorificably tutti tartibus.
Excellent.
Yeah. Smooth and graceful as always. If she saved Chet from the monstrous crab things, so she lowered him a rope and helped him out of the pit.
Chet's been
in a pit.
The
textual integrity in this is really not holding up.
It's not. I think it's time to move on.
I agree.
Despite the fact there are still 6 more words.
Okay.
We've been doing this for 20 minutes.
Excellent stuff.
Excellent stuff.
The podcast is going to be 3 hours long now instead of 45 minutes.
Yep.
Don't check the time at the bottom of the video.
Go and get right now. If you have tea, if you've made tea and you're just listening to us, don't forget it. Go drink your tea. We'll still be here when you get back.
Continuing from that, don't look at the screen.
Wow.
So, do you know what acetylcholine is?
Acetylcholine, yes.
Yes. Please tell me, what is acetylcholine?
Acetylcholine is a neurotransmitter. Or do you want me to make it up?
Yeah, make up your definition.
Make it up or give you the actual definition?
Make it up.
Okay, so I'm not meant to give you the actual definition?
No.
Okay. Acetylcholine, or as you called it, acetylcholine, or whatever you said.
Yeah.
Abbreviated ACH, small h, big C. I don't know anything about it. So when you go to a pool, can I just say for the record, I do know what it means.
Yeah, you can say make up a definition and then say the actual definition.
No, I'm just going to make up a definition.
Okay.
So acetylcholine, basically, when you go to a pool, not that anyone's really going to a pool right now because they're all closed, which is really sad. I like pools and beaches. Water's good. Drinking water is excellent. Go drink water.
Can we get sponsored by water? Not a brand.
Just water.
All water.
Just H2O.
Yeah.
This podcast sponsored by H2O. Every single time I want there to be a different font.
Okay.
For that, and
all of them are breeds of Comic Sans.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun fact: my dad makes educational equipment for universities to teach telecommunications, and he writes all of his manuals in Comic Sans because he thinks it's relatable.
And he's a legend. And I have so much respect for that. And my sister hates him.
Who's a graphic designer?
So acetylcholine, when you go to a pool, there's chlorine. But most people from certain parts of the world pronounce it wrong. Choline. Like that. Is exactly how a lot of... That was a terrible joke, I'm so sorry. When you go to a pool, there's chlorine. Sometimes people call it choline. And when you're in a pool, and there's a seat next to the water, sometimes it gets splashed. So basically it's a wet seat at a pool.
A seat. Oh, that's funny.
Thank you.
That's good. Yeah. Okay, and the actual definition is it's a neurotransmitter that gets affected by drugs. Whoa! Look at this excellent transition into the next part of the podcast, educational.
Oh, that was your transition.
Yeah, that was my excellent transition.
That was a good transition.
Thanks. Yeah. I was trying to figure out a word that was like for parts of the body that was affected by drugs, and I was like, I could literally ask you, but then I spent ages researching it.
Nice.
I got there though.
You did.
Yeah, the other option was dopamine, and I was like, everybody kind of knows what that is, so.
Or oxytocin. That was a good one.
Yeah, toes. Yeah, so, basically, what I was going to say is, I want to tell you all about cheating in sports, because I recently watched the movie Icarus, which is an excellent movie on Netflix, and it's basically the director / a journalist, was a bike racer, and he just could never get at the top. So he came together with a Russian man who was like the head of RASADA, which is the Russian anti-drugging agency. I think that's what it stands for. And yeah, so basically they came together and he was doing the same drugging as Lance Armstrong. So
insert picture of me with wax figure of Lance Armstrong.
Oh, wow.
When I was young.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, with Lance Armstrong. And it was going really well until, and they were gonna, like, he was doing all this drugging and then he was making it through all the races without getting exposed. So being like, hey, look, I managed to dope and I'm, like, not even good. And, like, this is amateur level and yet I can still get past, sort of thing. Yeah, so that was really interesting. But then, the Russian government basically found out that the Russian man was helping him kind of expose drug cheating. And so they started sort of threatening his life. There was another man who was working with him, who mysteriously had a heart attack.
Wow.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure
mysteriously. Anyway, so I just found that I thought that it was really interesting how, like, how many lengths people go to cheat at a sport. It's almost to the point where, like, instead of spending, like, 2 hours a day injecting yourself with testosterone and things, you could be, you know, training for the sport.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So I was going to talk about a few things. Basically, what did Lance Armstrong cheat? Like, I remember finding out that he injected, like, more blood into himself so that basically he could transport more oxygen through his body.
Yeah.
And I was like, shook. But turns out that's not the only thing he did. He also used EPO, which is erythropoietin. Erythropoietin. Do you know what that is?
I've heard of it.
Okay. He injected testosterone. He injected cortisone.
I've heard of testosterone.
Yeah. He injected human growth hormones.
Yep.
He had illegal blood transfusions and also other blood doping. So basically, if we go through each of these, EPO, as I mentioned, is erythropoietin, is a hormone naturally produced by human kidneys to stimulate red blood cell production. So basically, red blood cells help transmit oxygen around the body.
Yep.
So by having extra red blood cells, you can have more oxygen, so you don't get tired as quickly and your muscles regenerate better. Then he also injected testosterone, which increases your bone density.
Your manness. Your manhood. Increases your manhood.
Yeah, men have just...
That's the technical term.
Bone density of men is just like, wow, that's what defines you.
We're so dense.
Yeah.
The fact that I picked up on that disproves your point.
Does it?
No.
Maybe. Bone density, fat distribution, the muscle strength,
fat distribution?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I think it means, like...
Does it mean it goes from here to your thighs or something?
Yeah.
That's
he
cool.
just, like, really wanted big thighs.
As we all do.
Yeah, I don't know much about fat, as you can
Me
probably
neither.
tell. But I think...
It's because you're...
Yep. Q word that we looked up.
Ectomorphic.
Yes. Excellent stuff.
That was a high five. I didn't just hit her.
Yeah. Throw back to when you tried to high five me and I flinched.
In public.
Yeah, that was good.
Yep.
Whoops. And red blood cell production and the sex drive, basically. So he injected testosterone to do all those things. Possibly fat distribution wasn't one of his main
aims. I was just wondering what it meant.
Yeah. But interestingly, when you inject testosterone, it actually shuts down the production of testosterone normally.
That's interesting.
And then he had testicular cancer.
Wow. There you go.
Side effect of testosterone is your testicles shrink.
Drink.
Your
testicles drink.
Ooh, that... Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Yeah.
Like a sponge.
You just get in
put
the
them in a
bath
and they just expand.
Yeah, excellent. But yeah, he had testicular cancer.
He did.
Which he recovered from. That's like super interesting thing to talk about. It's like
cancer.
no.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I didn't think so either.
Yeah, I would call cancer devastating.
Yeah,
Well,
me too.
well, I mean, it is very interesting.
It is.
But,
also terrible.
Yeah. Anyway, so, but I mean, like he did overcome cancer, and even if he was doping, he managed to, like, his doping would have taken him from, like, 20th in the Tour de France to 1st. Whereas, so he still got to 20th in the Tour de France. It's like, should he still be admired that he overcame?
Should Lance Armstrong be admired? No.
No.
The fact that he overcame cancer, yeah, but that was after the doping. Right?
But no, because he well, he was, I don't really know when he started doping. You can look it up.
Research.
But,
This is... See, on high-quality podcasts, they have someone behind the camera researching for them, so they can just look at it. We don't do that.
No. You see, we're a real podcast, do our own editing, do our own music.
Editing.
Yeah, do our own music.
I'm doping.
I like how we only have one thing we can edit, just putting words on the screen. We can't even do that yet.
Editing. But that's going to be in bold and underlined. So
oh, nice. Yeah. But no, he was doing really well, then he had testicular cancer, and then he did really well again. So I think he was doping both before and after.
Okay.
Yeah.
This Wikipedia article is very long.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he's not someone that should be respected.
No.
Admired, maybe. If he made it to a high level before he was doping.
Yeah.
Sure. Admire him up to that point. But the fact that he then thought, oh, I have to dope.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. No one else
But
was.
then also the top 14. Like when he had his titles rescinded, then like the top 14 or something, like they had to go to 15 to get someone who wasn't doping, which is
okay.
insane.
Maybe that says more about the culture of competitive cycling than it does about the individuals.
Yeah.
So maybe we should admire him, or maybe we should not admire any of them, because that as a cultural thing of being like, if you want to get into the top 15, you have to be doping.
Absolutely. And
it's
also
terrible.
another thing that kind of like is shocking to me is kind of like the culture around taking drugs to study.
Oh, like
kind of,
like Xanax and
and Adderall and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's really sad.
I don't get that at all.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like obviously I understand people caving to the pressure, but I don't know. It's really sad that has to be a culture.
It is, absolutely.
Okay, next one. He used cortisone steroids, which basically mimics the natural production of cortisol, and cortisone is a type of cortisol.
Yep.
And this is where I throw to you to describe what cortisol is.
It's the stress hormone. It's. I'm not reading this.
No,
and you've really thrown me in the deep end here.
I have.
It's a stress hormone, so it gets released through the HPA axis, the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, I believe. Someone check me on that because I'm probably wrong. Let me have a look.
Someone check me. You said it like we have an editor or someone in the background.
I'm talking to myself. Hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. There we go.
Excellent.
So the hypothalamus releases. What is it? It's a hormone, but it's not cortisone or cortisol. It's a hormone that it releases to the pituitary, but it's called cortisol growth hormone or something. It has cortisol in the name, but basically it's telling the pituitary to produce a certain type of hormone, which then gets sent to the adrenal gland, which then produces cortisol, which then increases your heart rate, your breathing, makes you stressed. So basically,
one part of your brain tells another one to produce it, it produces it.
And then it tells the adrenal gland on the kidneys to produce it.
Okay, cool.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting. So what would that do? Would that reduce his stress? It probably has some other benefits.
It would increase his heart rate. No, it's not necessarily stress. It's like heart rate, breathing.
Interesting.
Blood pressure, stuff like that.
Cool.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was in year 9, there was an elective course we could take called Hismiz, and basically historical mysteries.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was really good. And we looked at conspiracies. We looked at serial killers. for a while, and then we looked at well, what do you call the Watergate scandals? There we go, scandals.
Nice.
So yeah, we looked at the Green Man, which is interesting serial killer case in America, and then something that I looked at for my scandal was Fetty in Spain, which
what's that?
It's basically the people who admit people into the Paralympics.
Oh, cool.
So interestingly, I think it's 2000 Olympics, which was in Sydney.
It was.
You were alive for that.
I was 1 year old, and I went because my dad ran with the torch for a little bit.
Oh, wow.
So there you go.
That's cool.
We still have the torch.
Huh.
In
I
our
didn't
house.
know that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And I was a zygote. No, I wasn't. Not even. No, I might have.
Were you
just been.
conceived?
I don't know. When's...
Probably.
Yeah.
2000 Olympics? Yeah, you would have been. Maybe towards the end of the Olympics.
Let's stop. Yeah.
I
Anyway.
didn't even think about what I was saying.
So, Fetty in Spain, basically, they admitted, some of their Paralympic, especially the basketball team, to have mental disabilities, but they didn't actually test them. So it was just lots of able-bodied players on a disability. They lost like 17 medals or something because of that.
Yeah.
There was like table tennis players, rowers, basketball. Yeah.
Is there wheelchair table tennis? Is that a thing?
Yeah, editor. Come on. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's really cool. Also, I feel like it wouldn't be too hard to win if you just hit it to the side.
Yeah, but...
Wheelchair tennis I get because you've got a bit more room and a bit more time. But table tennis is very fast-paced.
That's true.
And if you can just go one side to the other.
Yeah. I'd like to see a video of that. Okay, we are inserting a video.
Are we?
Are
we inserting a video?
Yeah, this has turned into a reaction video.
Whoops. No, it hasn't.
Yeah, it has.
No,
We're reacting to Olympic tennis.
Oh, that's really cool. They must have really long arms.
Yeah.
So they don't...
That's impressive.
For anyone listening and watching, because we're not inserting this into the video, they're not moving their wheels.
Yeah.
They're sitting slightly off the center of the table.
Oh.
And that guy just hit the net.
Rip. Yeah. One of the largest Paralympic sports. How interesting. I guess that, like, it's a more accessible sport because you can practice it at home, like, quite easily.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas, like, I imagine to have competed in Paralympics in basketball, you'd have to have,
specialized wheelchairs and everything.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if these wheelchairs
but, like, you could practice, like, when you're at a low level, you know.
Yeah.
You can practice in your regular wheelchair.
Yeah, definitely. Those wheelchair basketball wheelchairs, the wheels are really angled.
Yeah.
They're very cool. We got to ride on them in high school.
Really?
Yeah. There was one Australian Paralympian, or at least the Australian wheelchair basketball team, someone from that came to our school. And we all got to play on it. And it was really hard. I don't understand how people can do that. It was very impressive. Because you just tip. Like, they're built so you don't tip, but people tipped, yeah.
Wow. That's so cool.
It was fun.
Amazing. Yeah, talking about admirable people, we weren't talking about that. I don't know what that transition is that I've got written here, but completely changing the subject and talking about admirable people. Oh, I guess because we're talking about Lance Armstrong and whether he should be admired. These people actually should be admired. Is like during the coronavirus, there were people doing like marathons on their balconies.
Oh, yeah,
and
absolutely.
Ed Jackson, who's a quadriplegic rugby player, climbed the height of Everest on his stairs.
Wow.
In his house. Isn't that insane? But
it is insane. I would say I'm not discounting his achievements at all.
Yeah.
He is quadriplegic. So that's very impressive as it is. But I would say one of the most intense / limiting in terms of accessibility parts of Everest is the oxygen.
Yeah.
And the altitude.
I agree.
The physical level of climbing, depending on if you did it in one go, like up and down and up and down and up and down, that's really impressive. If you did it over a week, I've probably done that in a week.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm also not a quadriplegic.
Yeah. So and then another guy, Rob Ferguson, was the first person to do that.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, that is really impressive.
But yeah, for sure. Like, I climbed Kosciuszko. Kosciuszko is apparently how it's meant to be pronounced.
Everyone says Kosciuszko.
Yeah. We also say a lot of other things that should be pronounced correctly, but that's okay. Yeah, I climbed that for Duke of Ed, which is basically it was like a 4-day hike, and you carry all your food, your tent.
If anyone's watched The Crown,
yeah,
the origins of Duke of Ed are in that, actually.
By the Duke of Ed in Edinburgh. Incredible stuff. His name really did become the name.
It really works that way.
Yeah, but that was like it was hard to breathe. It was really discouraging at first because we got dropped off and you'd be walking down a hill and panting. And you're like, geez. Yeah. So, going back to Russia, I was talking about, all of these transitions are impeccable. I know.
Going back to Russia.
The layout that I had in my head was, we talk about some, like, drugging, like what the drugging is. Then you talk about, like...
Number 1. Lance Armstrong. Is that the right way? Hold on. 1. No.
What?
1.
Number 1.
Lance Armstrong.
He's gesturing on screen for any podcast listeners. 2. 2? That's 2?
Yeah.
Oh! Number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 2 is, like, the different types of cheating. As in,
2.
like, of avoiding.
Types of cheating.
Yes.
Sporting?
So there's, like...
On your partner.
Actually being... On your partner?
You can cheat on your partner.
Oh.
It was a bad joke.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
I'm just here for the comedy.
And interrupting my flow.
And interrupting
both of them. So, number 1, Lance Armstrong.
Yep.
Number 2.
You gotta...
Number 1, Lance Armstrong.
2.
Do you remember what number 1 is? I feel like I haven't said it enough.
I think it might be Lance Armstrong.
Maybe.
Or was it Neil Armstrong? The guy in the moon. Was he doping?
Probably.
Did Neil Armstrong dope?
Yeah.
That ties into conspiracy theories.
Did he take LSD and think he went to the moon?
Did we even go to the moon? Yes, we did. If anyone thinks we didn't,
please
don't listen to this podcast. I hate you.
Number 1.
I hate you.
Somebody called Armstrong.
Yes.
Number 2.
And Armstrong.
I was talking about Fetty because they actually physically cheated. They didn't do doping.
Yeah.
Number 3, we're going back to Russia because of the way they avoided being caught. And the number 4 is going to be other ways you avoid being caught. Planned perfectly. Yeah. So basically, if you watch Icarus, excellent. I'm not sure if I said that, but excellent documentary.
I haven't seen it.
Correct. There.
I didn't realise I was taking a test. But I passed. 100%.
Yeah. I worked on a film set for work experience in Year 10, and it's the film set of Rake with Richard Roxburgh, and he basically has a massive thing about people saying he's correct, and he would, like, punch people because they told him he was correct. It's a wild show.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was really fun. Anyway, so Russia actually cheated they had the Olympics in Sochi, and the like urine testing center sort of thing. So basically, you pee into a cup.
Pee in a cup.
And then they pour it into a bottle A and a bottle B. And you can't take the lid off bottle A without smashing the bottle. So they, like, basically smash it to get it to the urine. So it can't be tampered with. But the...
FDA?
No, KGB. But they've changed it to FSA, I think. Figured out a way to pop off the lid. So what they did is they took all the Russian athletes. So number A goes immediately...
I think A is a letter.
Letter A immediately goes to be tested, and then letter B is stored for 10 years, just in case they have to test it in future with better technology. And so what they did was, because
I didn't know that.
Because they split open the bottle, they could swap out the urine while they were splitting it out. Whereas in B, they had a fake PowerPoint in the wall behind a cupboard. So they pulled out the cupboard, they passed the Russian pee through the fake PowerPoint.
Yeah.
KGB took it from the other side.
Yeah.
A KGB headquarters was next door. Took it, somehow got the lids off, swapped out urine with clean urine, put the lids back on, took it, put it back through the hole, and then put it in the fridge.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's really amazing.
If nothing else, the creativity has to be admired.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So when the Russian man that I was talking about earlier, do you want to Google his name? Which I should have done beforehand.
His name.
It
What am I
was
looking at? Russian man.
Russian man, drug
Russian
scandal.
man, drug scandal.
Drug scandal. Yeah,
Grigory Rodchenkov.
Yeah, Grigory Rodchenkov. He was involved with this because he was the head of the Russian branch of WADA, which is World Anti-Doping Agency. Basically, when he exposed Russia, they checked all of the bottles and found evidence of tampering on each of the bottles.
Interesting. But
then Russia were like, Russia won't be allowed to compete at the Olympics, and then they were.
Yeah, they were.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Crazy stuff. Yeah, and then we go on to other types of cheating. So, technological cheating. One of the first, this man called Onishenko, he was a fencer at the Olympics, and people kept saying disown Ishenko, which is super clever. I like that. Because he had wired up his fence. What do you call it? Sword. Is there? I feel like it. Foil. It's called foil. I fenced. Not. Anyway, he wired up his foil so that it would actually transmit something saying that he'd gotten a hit when he hadn't.
Oh, interesting.
Really cool.
That's very, very cool.
Yeah.
Of all the sports you could cheat in, though, he had to choose fencing, didn't he? Like he could have been a world champion of like.
Yeah, true. Well, actually, it wasn't
running
fencing. It was modern pentathlon,
okay.
which includes fencing.
Right.
Yes, I don't know what the other 4 are. Maybe it's 5 versions of fencing.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
Me too.
Maybe it's fencing, but each time you have to add a foil.
Oh,
so
I
the
like
first
that.
game is 1, the second game is 2. The game
you use a foot and
you
have
use
to
one
hop.
of your feet and you have to hop, and the 4th one you're just both sitting down because you're using your other foot.
Yeah,
and the 5th one's in your mouth.
That'd be fun.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, it would.
You wouldn't be able to move from 4 onwards. 5 would just be like 2 babies sitting on the ground.
I had a cousin who was like a really, really good skipper, and she could skip on her butt. Like she would bounce herself.
Crazy.
To get the skipping rope under her.
Well, maybe she'd be good at it.
I imagine she would.
I would not.
Yes.
Cool.
And with that transition, yeah.
What's the next one?
What was your game again?
Oh, my game. I have a game.
Yes.
That's our transition. I have a game.
Okay.
Very smooth.
Yeah. Which I will be cheating at.
Yeah.
That's the transition. I won't be cheating.
You won't be cheating though. So, this is my game. I'm very excited about this game. So that's the educational part of the show over. Mm-hmm. Every week, every day, depending on how often we do this, we're going to have a different topic.
Mm-hmm.
Today was cheating, doping, sports cheating.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe next week will be marital cheating.
Just listing all people's names.
Every single person I know who's cheated.
Please comment anybody you know who is cheating, and we'll put them in next show
for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, we're already at 45 minutes, and we're going to keep going.
Oh, yeah. Excellent.
So, my game is.
I'm not looking.
So, there's a website called The Onion. If you don't know it, look it up. It's incredible. They are a satirical website. They do a lot of political stuff. They do a lot of just general satire. But right now, especially in today's political climate, it's very easy for them to write satire about politics. So there's a lot more of that.
They do news articles.
They do fake news articles. They used to do a lot of fake, like, actual news bulletins on YouTube. Excellent. From like 10 years ago. Watch them. They're so funny. Anyway, so I have articles from The Onion, and I have articles that are real, but sound like they could be from The Onion. And the game is I'm going to read an article, and she has to guess whether it's from The Onion or whether it's a real article. Strap in. This is going to be an experience.
I'm sorry.
So we'll start easy. Maybe. Alright. Headline number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Russian roulette champion wouldn't let his son play Russian roulette. Real or The Onion?
I reckon that's real.
That's The Onion. That's fake. That is fake. See, some of them are very stupid, like very silly, but some of them are quite, okay. Hulu to Parasite haters. The movie Parasite. If you don't want to read subtitles, learn Korean. Real or fake?
Did you see the director of Parasite when he said, like, I'm so glad that finally a foreign film has won an Oscar. Everybody's managed to overcome the 1-inch hurdle of being able to read.
Yeah. I did see that.
So that's why I think that it's real.
It is real. Congratulations.
Yes.
Okay. Now we're going to step it up a notch.
Keen.
China sends 2 boxes of aid to coronavirus hit Syria. 2 boxes. About
2 boxes
so
of
big.
AIDS.
2 boxes of aid with 1 D.
Yes.
2 boxes. Real or the onion?
Well, considering, like, when Italy was in crisis, I believe they... Please fact check me.
I'm not going to do that.
What?
I'm not going to fact check you.
Okay. I believe they, like, people bought some aid and then they, like, didn't send enough on time or something like that.
Okay.
Possibly, yeah, fake news, but, maybe. That's
this
what we're
going?
trying to avoid on
True.
an educational channel, but
That's
here
right.
we go. So I think that's true.
You think it's true?
Yeah, and I'm
You think China sent 2 boxes of aid to Syria?
Yes, I do.
You're correct.
Yes. I'm going to look up my...
Okay.
Yes. Go.
Oil paintings plunge into negative pricing as market overrun with surplus of still lifes.
Still.
Because people are stuck at home.
I thought you were going to say oil paintings because they're made
Yeah,
out of oil.
but that's part of it as well.
Okay, that's very funny. I have to say I think that's the onion.
You are correct.
Yay. Because I have to provide reasoning behind all of them.
Okay.
Because I think still lifes are one of the most beautiful art forms. So how could anybody have a surplus of still lifes? Like, if I could use still life as wallpaper, I would have apples and pears all over the wall.
In unrelated news, next time you see us, that wall back there, apples and pears.
We gotta remember to do that.
Apples and pears.
Just like print off one black and white
I'm
photo
gonna
and
do
stick
it.
it behind us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Alright. Here's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama lawmaker. Quote, we shouldn't arm teachers because most of them are women.
Oh my god. Grrr. I really, 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 really hope this is satirical.
Yep, what are you going to say it is?
But considering the fact that arming teachers is even in the question, it's got to be real.
It's real. He actually said that. Would you like me to read you the article? I'm going to read the article of the really bad ones.
Excellent.
Alabama lawmaker, we shouldn't arm teachers because most are women. There's a picture of him. Oh, I have to disable my ad block to read it. Oh no, there we go. Alabama lawmakers need to protect, quote, our ladies, and to do that, they should not arm teachers because most are women, argued State Rep Harry Shiver.
Wait, so we need to protect our ladies, but the guns are used to protect, apparently.
Mm-hmm. But the women can't have them.
So you can't protect the ladies?
No, but the women can't. No, the men have to protect the women, obviously.
Oh. I thought the
'Cause
idea
how
was
the-
that
how the-
teachers are meant to be able to protect themselves.
No, but the men protect the ladies. That's obviously how it should work, right?
Mm. Yes.
Because if your lady has a gun, who knows what's gonna
Why
happen.
are women even allowed to work?
It's true.
Yeah.
Teachers?
Do they even know how to read?
Can you read?
I don't know. I'm
Have you ever read
looking
before?
at my screen and
Yeah,
seeing
but-
squiggles.
But they're just pictures of apples and oranges on there.
It's true. I don't know what to look up. China withhold aid for coronavirus to withhold from other countries.
Okay, here's a good one.
Yes.
Major disappointment. J.J. Abrams has revealed that Finn and Poe from Star Wars
Isn't
are both
J.J.
gay.
Abrams the...
He's a director.
Oh. What's that thing? Jar Jar?
Jar
Is
Jar
that it?
Binks, yeah.
Yeah.
He's from... Close. J.J. Abrams
I mean,
equals Jar Jar
yeah.
Binks.
Yeah.
Are you onto something here?
I think so. And
Anyway.
here is a picture of Jar Jar Binks and J.J. Abrams.
Abrams and then superimposed.
Yeah.
Because they look the same.
There were
Major
like 4
disappointment.
gestures then. It's going to be like
Well, there's
eight,
going to be 4
8
pictures of
pictures.
them. Major disappointment. J.J. Abrams has revealed that Finn and Poe are both gay, but don't really vibe with each other romantically.
Were those the two that... Oh.
The pilot and the Rey's friend from the last movie. From the sequel trilogy.
The only one I've seen.
Yes.
So... and he said, quote, they vibe with each other.
No, they're both gay, but they don't vibe with each other.
They don't vibe with
So
each
that's
other.
why there was no...
No. I think that's fake.
Okay.
Just because I think they're straight, but they do vibe with each other.
Oh.
So they're like they're straight, but if it was like the last two guys on Earth, they were like, you know what? Yeah. You know what? I'm down with that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if only men were left on Earth, they'd be like,
yeah.
You're mine.
You're mine.
Yeah.
You're mine. You're not a man. I'm one of the last two men left on Earth.
Well, we don't know. We're locked in this room.
Have we locked ourselves in? Alright, I'm
wait,
going to go...
An onion?
It was fake, yeah.
Was it actually?
Yeah, it was fake. Well, you said it was...
I know. For some reason, I was like...
I picked that because I thought you would think it was real. Because it really sounds like something...
It really does.
Yeah.
But I thought the, like, suppressed homosexuality meant they did vibe with each other.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a great one. Mariana Trench, once again named worst place to raise a child. Do you think someone actually did a study on that?
Yes. I reckon it was a marine biologist student at university. 2 weeks before their thesis was due, they were like, oh dearie.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We have an issue. And they just threw babies in the Mariana Trench and saw if they survived.
Cool. I had a guy in a philosophy class I took at uni who was convinced from week 1 that babies could float and that if you threw up and breathe underwater.
What?
He genuinely thought that you could throw a baby into water and it would survive whether it was floating or sinking.
And if you're that person listening to our podcast,
I'm so
we
sorry.
think we really admire you. Please keep watching.
We do. We to be fair, you didn't believe it at the end of the class, so that was good. But
excellent.
It was just really funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, you think it's true?
Yeah.
It's onion. But it's one of their best.
Yeah.
Alright. How many more do we reckon?
How long has this been going for? 58 minutes.
58 minutes.
One more.
One more? One more. Okay, it's got to be a what's the word? There's a word I'm looking for.
An epitome of success. No?
Okay, that works.
And the peak.
Okay.
The reverse.
This is my favourite headline of all time. Yeah. It's not, but it's good. Chile counts those who died of coronavirus as recovered because they're, quote, no longer contagious, Health Minister says.
You told me this.
Did I?
Yeah, but I don't remember if you said it was real or not. I think you said it was real.
That's disappointing. It is real.
Oh my god. And did you know that in South America, I think, they have, women can go out and do errands. Like, nobody's allowed to go out and do errands, but nobody's allowed to go out unless errands. And women are allowed to go out on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and men are allowed to go out on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, because the attraction between men and women in South America is so strong that they wouldn't be able to keep apart. Or something like that.
Crazy.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Crazy how men and women just...
stuck. It's like glue.
It's like glue. It is like glue.
Like magnets.
Like gluey magnets.
Gluey magnets. Mm.
Do you think... Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to end on that one because you already heard it before.
Okay. That's fair.
One more.
Yeah.
One more.
One more.
Scientists announce they have probably successfully taught sign language... I'm going to start that again. Scientists announce that they have probably successfully taught sign language to snakes.
The snake's like, give me an S. And then just like wiggles.
Yeah, just wiggles.
And then...
S. That's the only one I can say. S.
Yeah. Maybe you can do an O. I reckon I could do an O. I mean, a kind of funky looking O because it needs to
Funky looking
squeal.
O.
Have you seen those videos of snakes on velvet and they can't move?
Yeah, they just go
It's
in
so
straight
cute.
forward. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Do you think scientists think they've taught snakes sign language?
No.
No?
No.
That's disappointing.
Why?
Because it's an Onion article.
No. I mean, yes. Like, I'm
Yeah, you
proud
got
of
it right.
myself.
But
But
imagine
also
though,
yeah.
there was I saw a meme the other day, and it was like something about cocaine, something damaging snails' hearing, and the meme was the title of the article, which was like something damages, I think, snails' hearings, and then the picture below it was like a scientist holding up a snail and saying, "Can you hear me?" and the snail being silent and him going, "Oh God, what have we done?"
And with
Funniest
that, we
Is that
would
the end?
like
End
to
of number one?
Yes.
End of the first cough.
Couple of fools.
Couple of fools. That's us.
Cough.
Cough.
Don't spread on me. Wear your mask.
Don't spread them.
Couple of fools number one
That's us.
is finished.
It is finished. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.